So I found an app that pretty much turns me into a real-life Vulcan. Obvi.
This episode of App Judgment is brought to you by HostGator Web Hosting.
And it's powered completely by wind energy.
Welcome to App Judgment, Revision 3's mobile app review show. I'm Jackie Talbot, and more than I love anything space or sci-fi related, I love me some useless information. Moonblink was badass enough to develop a Tricorder app for Android, and I absolutely cannot get enough of it. In case you're not in with the Trekkie crowd, a Tricorder is a multifunction handheld device used for sensor scanning, data analysis, and recording data. There are a ton of other different versions of Tricorders specific to class, like medical and engineering, but this one's just your good old-fashioned run-of-the-mill geological, meteorological, and biological scanner. Once you launch the app, your main controls are laid out on the left side and include gravitational field, magnetic field, acoustic environment, geographic information, electromagnetic spectrum scanner, and solar information. The gravitational field screen measures how much gravity there is, which is so great because I wonder about that all the time. It also displays altitude gauge, absolute magnitude, and raw numeric data. Your local magnetic field shows pretty much the same type of information as the gravitational field, but measures local magnetic activity. Fucking magnets, how do they work? In both gravitational and magnetic scanners, toggling the XY axis plots lets you switch between absolute and relative modes. In the acoustic environment scanner, the current level of audio around you gets picked up and displayed in waveforms, both showing frequency and power in decibels. Geographic information is displayed here and shows your reported latitudinal and longitudinal GPS location. This is a sky diagram displaying satellites, true and magnetic north, and changes into a display of your signal strength if you tap on it. The developers made a point to explain that the accuracy of where north really is depends on your device's magnetometer, which can be very poor. The electromagnetic spectrum screen shows cellular and Wi-Fi information. Depending on what your hardware can support, this displays radio, cellular, and Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, my hardware doesn't support it all. Surprise, surprise. The solar screen displays current sun and solar wind information, including a fancy view of the sun, current proton and electron activity, as well as the number of sunspots and optical flares. They also explain that this information is downloaded from the internet and at a low priority, because for some reason, mobile devices don't measure solar activity yet. I don't get it. So have you had enough nerd thrown on you yet? No? Good, because I've got even more after we check in with our sponsor.
Looking for a place to launch a blog or website? Frustrated with customer support at your current hosting provider? Well, go with HostGator and get up and running within minutes. With plans starting at just $4.95 a month, you get top-rated 24/7 customer support, access to tools including a website builder with over 4,000 templates. HostGator will even migrate your current site for free.
That's right, and not only that, but servers are 130% powered by wind energy. It's completely green web hosting. You also get unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, and a 45-day money-back guarantee. But that's not all. You also get a $100 Google AdWords credit to market your website.
And right now, for Revision 3 viewers, HostGator is offering 20% off your order or your first month free. Go to www.hostgator.com and enter the code AppJudgment at your checkout and get your discount.
Do it.
Okay, so we went over the different scanners that this little beauty displays, and believe it or not, there's more to it than that. In the settings menu, you can adjust the data, sound, display, and audio. Data is pretty much just telling the app whether or not to scan for data continuously, which I do. There are a few sound effects within this app, so in the sound settings, you can adjust volume, whether or not you hear a scanning sound, and whether or not you want Wi-Fi ping enabled. The display settings allows you to select your preferred units, screen orientation, and how long you want the screen to stay awake. I find myself reading information for quite a while, so this feature was definitely helpful. In the audio analysis settings, you can set the sampling rate, block size of samples to adjust frequency resolution, window function, decimation, and histogram averaging. So let's review the pros and cons. This app obviously gives you a lot of information, some even actually helpful, like the compass in the magnetic field scanner or the cellular and Wi-Fi displays in the electromagnetic spectrum scanner. And to be honest, I really don't understand what some of this means, like at all. But it comes equipped with a detailed manual that explains exactly what you're doing. The downside? The app is only as cool as your hardware. The developers make it very clear that the availability and accuracy of information displayed is dependent upon your hardware of your device, which actually isn't even a con, it just kind of makes sense. For a ton of mostly useless information and a downright nerdier view of the world around you, of course you have to download the Tricorder. All right, well that's it for this episode of App Judgment, so until next time, you can find me on Twitter @JackieTalbot or email us at appjudgment@revision3.com. And of course, you can talk it up on our forums, Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and keep up with all the latest app news and reviews on Twitter at AppJudgment. Thanks for watching, and live long and prosper. In the audio analysis settings, you can set the sampling rate, block size of samples to adjust frequency resolution, window function. Sorry, I said function.